Go to itv.com/weather.
Tuesday,
Cheers,
5th of
Adam.
July, 2022. Live from
Right,
Television
one more,
Centre
boys.
in London. This is Good Morning Britain with Susanna Reid and Ed Balls.
Very good morning to you. Within the last few minutes, we've just been handed a letter which the former top civil servant at the Foreign Office has sent by email to the Standards Commissioner. Now, this is Simon MacDonald of Salford, permanent Undersecretary at the Foreign Office between 2015 and 2020, and it relates to Chris Pincher. 5 days, he says, after Mr Pincher's resignation as Deputy Chief Whip, there remains significant confusion surrounding complaints about his behaviour prior to the drunkenness that he admits at the Carlton Club last week. The former top civil servant goes on to say inaccurate claims by 10 Downing Street continue to be repeated. The BBC website reported that no official complaints against Mr Pincher were ever made. This is not true, says this former top civil servant, and goes on to explain that in the summer of 2019, shortly after he was appointed a foreign minister, a group of officials complained about Mr Pincher's behaviour. Those complaints were discussed with the relevant official at the Cabinet Office. In substance, the allegations were similar to those made about his behaviour at the Carlton Club. An investigation upheld the complaint, and Mr Pincher apologised and promised not to repeat the behaviour. The same BBC website report continued. Downing Street said Mr Johnson was not aware of any specific allegations when he appointed Mr Pincher Deputy Chief Whip in February. The original number 10 line is not true, says Mr MacDonald. The modification is still not accurate. Mr Johnson was briefed in person about the initiation and outcome of the investigation. There was a formal complaint. Well, Richard Gaisford is at Downing Street. I mean, Richard Gaisford, the initial denial that Mr Johnson, Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, did not know about allegations about Mr Pincher have completely unravelled to the point where Baron MacDonald, this very senior Foreign Office civil servant, is saying that the explanations simply don't hold water.
I mean, this is an astonishing letter, isn't it, for the former Foreign Office Permanent Secretary to release this morning. He's basically saying that what Downing Street has said is categorically untrue.
Well, he's dropped a bombshell on Downing Street this morning because most of us who have experience perhaps of the way these stories play out have realised that perhaps Boris Johnson knew more than Downing Street had been letting on, but here it is in black and white from a man who was at the very top of the operation in the Foreign Office, who oversaw all of that and was fully aware of the situation, and says that Boris Johnson had been briefed in person. This morning we have Dominic Raab on the media rounds, will be appearing on our programme in a few minutes' time, saying that yes, there was this investigation, he had been aware of it, but because there was